here we have a picture of a cyanobacteria, which is called Nostoc. And this is a colonial, like all cyanobacteria, a colonial bacterial species. What you notice is that along with all these cells that are similar in shape and size, which are photosynthetic, you have one, I guess you can call it achlorophyllous cell, a clear cell that's larger and has a thicker cell wall. That is to be the heterocyst. And the heterocyst contains an enzyme or enzymes, which we call nitrogenase. And that is the enzyme that fixes atmospheric nitrogen, converts it into ammonia, right? And that, once it becomes ammonia, it becomes usable for other life forms. So we all need nitrogen in our amino acids, for protein building, or even our DNA. And we can't use atmospheric nitrogen, so we depend on these species that can do that. So the wall of this heterocyst is very thick for a particular reason. Nitrogenase is what we call oxygen labile. Like all enzymes are, which are proteins, they depend on their specific structures in order to be useful. They can't work if their structure changes. And in the case of nitrogenase, its structure will change in the presence of oxygen. So it becomes denatured, right? We call it oxalabile. So this wall is extra thick to keep oxygen out of the environment where nitrogenase is. There's another similar species, which is Anabaena. Anabaena is just a string of photosynthetic cells with an occasional large clear heterocyst. So we're not going to ask you to tell the difference between Nostoc and Anabaena. In case you're curious, Nostoc can be found in nature as a little gelatinous ball in freshwater systems, which is so large. You can just pick it up with your hands. It's about the size of a large marble. Or it can grow on walls as like a gelatinous gloop. Anabaena is more free-living, and it can also be in a floating fern called Azolla. If you ever find Azolla, I'll write that down. Azolla. So Azolla is a floating fern which has little leaflets, or leaf-like structures on it that resemble like the tiles on a roof. And in between the tiles, in between these leaves, you can find Anabaena. And there is also another cell which on occasion appears when this colony is stressed, and that is an akinete, another type of cell which is larger, and it's used for food storage. And so be able to compare this, for example, compare this Nostoc or Anabaena, not to each other, but to Glyocapsa, or compare it to Oscillatoria. And just be able to compare the two and be able to recognize a heterocyst.